Meteorologist Joe Bastardi. Time for the Monday edition of the Global Sea Ice and Temperature Report. Taking a look at the JAXA site for the global sea ice. We see that the 15% coverage running a little bit, just a little bit above this low level. I believe this is 2006, so you can see it's at the bottom of the pack over here. At 30%, right on top of the bottom of the pack, so to speak. The National Snow and Ice Data Center, it's down near 2007. We look at the Danish sites a little bit better over here, but all these are at the bottom edge. Now again, let me remind you that the forecast I made is for the summer. All right, so I know people say, well, look, it's running behind. The Arctic Oscillation about to go positive. Is growing very cold around Greenland, so I'm confident that these levels are going to come up. But even if they do come up, even if they were up in here, let's say, by the time we get to, 2 weeks, it miraculously changes around, doesn't mean anything as far as my forecast goes until I get to the summer, all right, because the forecast was made for the summer. And again, I've resisted putting the Navy site on here that shows the sea ice thickening, and the reason why is I started with a certain set of parameters over here with the sea ice, and I don't want to start switching horses in midstream, because then you get the propagandists try to accuse me of changing the debate or whatever. But if you go on the Navy site, you'll find that the sea ice has been thickening up over the last 2 to 3 years, which is interesting in that the U.S. Navy is a government organization. And, I made a comment yesterday on my blog that, military people have to deal with matters more pressing than, let's say, theory. They have to deal with a lot of reality. It's interesting seeing that site saying that. So you go on that and look on your own. I'm going to keep the same set that I've used here so I don't get accused of, clouding the issue or going some other way because these aren't at the top or whatever. All right, I'm just going to present this as I see this. Now, this is the Norwegian site. They've always had a history of being a little bit higher with the way they measure. There's the 30% coverage a little bit up above, but you can see all this is below the normal line, and that bears itself out nicely with the global sea ice being down in here. And again, my theory, and it, is that we're leveling off and we're going to go back up. The southern hemisphere running a bit below normal over here now, and but you can see its general trend has been up, and total global sea ice is below normal. And this line has been on the way. It's been trending down here, and the question is, am I going to be right? And all I can say is we'll wait and see. Now, one thing that I'm already right about, and you can say whatever you want. Now, a lot of times I talk to my detractors over here because I know they get on this and start hammering me on the blogs. I told you the global temperature is going to crash like crazy, and it has. All right, so let's just take a look at this. This was the initial 6Z this morning. This is off the Florida State COAP site. So I didn't create this graphic here out of the clear blue sky. The GFS 2-meter temperatures at 24 hours forecast to be a little bit below normal, but that expands. If you go up in the corner, you can see how this keeps getting colder and colder to a point where we're running pretty close to 0.3 of a degree Celsius below normal with these 24-hour increments. The coldest here at 84 hours is a minus 0.36. Now, if we look at what's going on now, here is the global temperature crash I was talking about. This is what everybody is dancing in the streets that supporting global warming because it's so warm. And I said back here, before this peak was hit, that we're going to crash this temperature in the fall and by March be back down to or below normal. We actually beat it. There we are now, right there. We've been running below normal. We're about 1/10 below normal for the month of January so far. And of course, with these stacking in so far below normal, what should happen here is that you'll see this line go across here. This is the average. This is last year. There's the normal line. See that orange line? That's the normal line right there, okay? So I'm looking at objective satellite-based data. Now, let me see what I want to show. Oh, here's the stratospheric temperature, okay? And we haven't had a reading since the middle part of December. But one of the big linchpins of the global warming theory is that the stratosphere is going to cool. Because if the stratosphere cools, it's a sign that the troposphere is expanding. And you can see that even as we had this warmth of last year over here, if we look, and again these colors are changed because there's no average here. This is just comparing 2009 to 2010. 2010 was warmer in the stratosphere than much of 2009. All right. Now, why do you want to see cooling in the stratosphere? Well, if you're going to promote the idea that the troposphere is warming, that column is expanding. Column of air is expanding. And what happens when the column of air expands in the lower levels? It contracts in the upper levels of the stratosphere, which leads to cooling of the stratosphere. The thickness, as we call it, lower with that. See how these mics are over here. There's sabotage. All right. Now, you say, okay, Joe, but let's see what's happened over the past 10 years. Can anybody here find that orange line that is indicative of last year over the past 10 years? No. You know why you can't really find it? Because you see what has happened here is that it's right in the middle of the pack. Up in the stratosphere, there's been no significant cooling or warming going on. There's been no significant temperature change. And this is a sign that there's no positive feedback, which is what is needed to get things real warm. So it's right there. You guys can all go look at it. This is off the AMSU Discovery site. You know how I love the objective satellite data because you can't monkey with it. You can't take the temperatures down beforehand or whatever. So, yeah, I'm throwing in my little shots on the side. I understand that. But the data is all there, and I encourage you, whether I'm right or wrong about this, to go look for yourself, okay? All right. That's it for now. Enjoy the weather. It's the only...